tags, cornrows, and Oreo spitting. Last known whereabouts is in Baltimore. Last seen with the sky named Judy.
You're now rocking with one of the best in the business. Spitting with slick hand and holds up metal like kickstands. I am hip-hop designing the form of this man. A show searching for a star. Well, I'm Ed McMahon, one of the sharpest MCs out of Maryland. Only takes a couple blocks to build a Lego land. Only takes one shot for me to bury a man. Hey, girl, so in love, she wanna marry a man. I'm back on it, yes sir, I'm back on it. So international, they should call me foreign. So B.I.G. man, I should be enormous. So damn fly, I should be enormous. Lyrical boys tell MCs to join in. So Baltimore, these other rappers are sore. I'm the original scar. I teach you how to go hard and rip the skin from a snake and split a pea from a pod. I'm bad, and no rap quite like I can. You never been a rapper that's good for this long and this long and no rap correct quite like I can. Well, never been a rapper that's good for this long. We'll eliminate punks, little suckers and chumps. It's hard so you heard me, then your ego's strong. Don't make this ego dump you up and reload back up and leave your ego finito. What's up? I'm called Leo, Miss Menino, better call your people. I give your girl dope, she call me cock Jesus. I will not lose ever. I'm bad, destined to be the challenge. Conquer any that manages, system up on the canvas. Yes, I'm such a savage. Yes, I'm so the baddest rapper that spit with carrots. Yes, I got in the bed. No rapper can rap quite like I can. Yes, I'm the baddest of the baddest. Plus I'm bad with a pen. Hey, yo, Yuki, take a look at what I done. Used to rock in the basement, now I'm number one, and I'm bad. And no rap quite like I can. You never been a rapper that's good for this long and this long and no rap correct quite like I can. Well, never been a rapper that's good for this long. Me and Shell, here's the Levi. Battle me, watch ride. You a walk-in abortion, so tell me bye-bye. For the competition, I'm as real as can be. So you can bet your favorite rapper ain't realer than me. I'm bad. All the rappers know when I enter the place, they say, yo, there he goes. And I'm the pinnacle. That means I reign supreme. And I'm notorious, not from Brooklyn, but I'm B.I.G. And I ain't from West Coast, but I'm P.A.C. And I ain't L.L., I'm just a G.O.A.T. And a dope MC in the place to be. So by now, you already know that I'm B.A.D. I bars the rhyme, so you better make way. If anybody in the crowd, they say the kid don't play. And I will not lose ever. I'm bad. And no rap quite like I can. You never been a rapper that's good for this long and this long and no rap correct quite like I can. But never been a rapper that's good for this long and I'm bad.
Yeah, it's your boy Innn. You know how it is on your road to rich.
Cars, calling all cars. Be on the lookout for a brown-skinned guy, dog tags, cornrows, and Oreo spitting. Last known whereabouts is in Baltimore. Last seen with the sky named Judy.
You're now rocking with one of the best in the business. Spitting with slick hand and holds up metal like kickstands. I am hip-hop designing the form of this man. A show searching for a star. Well, I'm Ed McMahon, one of the sharpest MCs out of Maryland. Only takes a couple blocks to build a Lego land. Only takes one shot for me to bury a man. Hey, girl, so in love, she wanna marry a man. I'm back on it, yes sir, I'm back on it. So international, they should call me foreign. So B.I.G. man, I should be enormous. So damn fly, I should be enormous. Lyrical boys tell MCs to join in. So Baltimore, these other rappers are sore. I'm the original scar. I teach you how to go hard and rip the skin from a snake and split a pea from a pod. I'm bad, and no rap quite like I can. You never been a rapper that's good for this long and this long and no rap correct quite like I can. Well, never been a rapper that's good for this long. We'll eliminate punks, little suckers and chumps. It's hard so you heard me, then your ego's strong. Don't make this ego dump you up and reload back up and leave your ego finito. What's up? I'm called Leo, Miss Menino, better call your people. I give your girl dope, she call me cock Jesus. I will not lose ever. I'm bad, destined to be the challenge. Conquer any that manages, system up on the canvas. Yes, I'm such a savage. Yes, I'm so the baddest rapper that spit with carrots. Yes, I got it. in the bed, and no rapper can rap quite like I can. Cause I'm the baddest of the baddest, plus I'm bad with a pen. Hey, yo, Yuki, take a look at what I done. Used to rock in the basement, now I'm number one, and I'm bad. And no rapper can rap quite like I can. She never been a rapper that's good for this long, and this long, and no rapper can rap quite like I can. But no, rapper that's good for this long. Trust me, Shell, Heads, and Levi's. Battle me, watch ride. You'll walk in the bushes, so tell me bye-bye. For the competition, I'm as real as can be. So you can bet your favorite rapper ain't realer than me. I'm bad. All the rappers know when I enter the place, they say, yo, there he go. And I'm the pinnacle. That means I reign supreme. And I'm notorious, not from Brooklyn, but I'm B.I.G. And I ain't from West Coast, but I'm P.A.C. And I ain't L.L., I'm just a G.O.A.T. And a dope MC in the place to be. So by now, you already know that I'm B.A.D. I bars the ride, so you better make way. If anybody in the crowd, they say the kid don't play. And I will not lose. Ever. I'm bad. And no rapper can rap quite like I can. She never been a rapper that's good for this long, and no rapper can rap quite like I can. But no rapper that's good for this long, and I'm bad.
I'm cocky and I'm too nice. Nothing like you bitches that be fucking on the first night. Niggas get caught thinking that be cheating on their own wife. Don't get mad at me cause I've been first like this my whole life. Any disrespect, you know we coming and it's on sight. Most you bitches rapping just be capping and you can't fight. Running down on one of you hoes under the street light. All up on the internet trolling claim you got me right. I've been fighting demons, they been chasing me my whole life. There's so many wrongs in my life, I gotta make right. Just say what I imagine my life was supposed to be like. Hope that nigga when he they fail, then he was up right. All these niggas claiming they real, ain't even cut right. These niggas they be acting like bitches, they better get right. These niggas out here killing, taking chances when they don't like. These niggas out here snitching to they fail, they ready to take flight.
Lisa, you ain't never lied. Niggas talking slick, then you know we gotta slide. I pray I catch these motherfuckers when they going live. You know I hit them up like Machiavelli still alive. If you play me like a bomb, find your body in the trunk. Hey, you smelling like a skunk while we smoking on that bomb. Lies be the bomb, fuck a unfit trunk. Ballin' on these bitch made niggas slam dunk. Took a trip out to Houston to holler at my homegirl Toy. Told Lisa the plan when we see old boy. Life is a game and it's time to roll the dice. Kill them all and let them live. Memphis nigga never been that nice. Hey, 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 hey.
Oh, hey, what's up, world? What's up, world? By now, y'all know that me and this nigga Kelly was coming, right? In a black Hummer with two guns on the outside. Ghetto thriller. Cash money, I'll lift the Birdman. Higher Piper from the Rockland clan. To all the players and the hot girls. Introducing the best of both worlds. So throw your hands up and represent. This is collabo with heaven sent. So from the clubs to the whips to the jeeps. It's Ghetto Killer tales of the streets. Two heads, two hearts, merging into one. Both are from the dark, but now shining like the sun. Different worlds, different blocks, same guns. Nevertheless, they are both made guns. This is a true story of the street life. I walk dark tunnels with no flashlight. So much pain under the shy street light. On my knees praying with all my might. Lord, 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 if you hear me, Lord, 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 please forgive me. Sipping, sipping, sipping on this Tennessee. Joy, joy, joy. is what I really need. Sometimes I dream my life is like ice. Sometimes I cry myself to sleep at night. And I can't hold this pain. Heaven, can you shelter me from the rain? Cash money, I'll hit the Birdman. Riot Piper from the Rockland Clan. To all the players and the hot girls, introducing the best of both worlds. So throw your hands up and represent. This is collabo was heaven sent. So from the clubs to the whips to the jeeps, it's little killer tale. Let's go get it, homies. 10 million of my ghetto soldiers, born and raised in the heart of that node. Helicopters and neighborhood explosions. Slinging cola was the way of high road. Landmines under every neighborhood. Platinum status like an OG should. The police sweating the deep boy hood. But real niggas get money like they should. Ghetto call, ghetto star, ghetto ring, homie. Keep that bling on. And we've been torn by the same thing. Lost our minds and get charged for every fucking thing. It's ghetto history being mean. Blowing smoke out of Maybach or Satan. Rest in peace to the dead. The worldwide hustlers and my homies that the street raid. Cash on y'all lit the Birdman. Riot Piper from the Rockland Clan. To all the players and the hot girls, introducing the best of both worlds. So throw your hands up and represent. This is collabo was heaven sent. So from the clubs to the whips to the jeeps, it's ghetto killer tales of the streets.
But I know that there's more. More for you, more for us.
Children, rain all night long. Didn't it all, oh my Lord. Didn't it rain? Didn't it rain, children? Rain all night long. Didn't it all? Didn't it all? Oh my Lord. Didn't it rain?
You can't run from it. You can't deny it. You can't pass it off. It's your call. God knew what he was doing. He knew who he was calling. And he expertly and intricately detailed every aspect of your life, your being, your persona, your psyche, your physicality, everything about you, from the texture of your hair to the color of your eyes to the way that you laugh to the fingerprint on your thumb. Everything is connected to your calling. And until you walk into the fullness of the thing that you were created for, you will find yourself frustrated. You're called.
Wow! It's Sean. This shit don't stop. You ain't fucking with me. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you ain't fucking with me. It's only one young. I'm a 101. Don't need to call me friend. Meadow Rose, come here. Yeah, y'all know what time it is. Let's go. Girl, I know what I want it. Hey, shout out to everybody that's in the Dream Team chat. Dream Team Reloaded. You know that I want it. You're making me horny. Wanna know how it tastes, baby? Can't wait, cause this shit sound like Black Boots Jealousy grinding. Let's go. Attitude, but I got you, baby. We gon' keep the thing winding. Oh, I can't stop you, baby. Hey, with the fake shit. What's the 411
nice, baby. So I'm back in brand new. Girl, tell me what must I do? What must I do?
Let's go.
So tell me
What must I say? What must I do to show how much?
This is
Black boots on the seat grinding.
and I want your body. Yeah, I love my body.
Y'all hear me out there? Joe, check.
I know you get
That's what I want to hear right there. Let's go. Black boots, Jodeci grinding. All right. Shout out to everybody that's here, man. I ain't even playing it all the way through. I ain't been on in a minute. I haven't been consistent. And you know what that means. When Dana ain't consistent, it's a problem somewhere. Shout out to everybody that's here in the building. I can say I haven't been consistent. Y'all got to forgive me on that. I haven't been consistent at all. Hold on, let me get this straight. Let's see. For some reason, is this programs be acting like they want to act. Okay, that look a little better. That look a little better. Nope. That look a little better. Nope. Right there. All right. All right. Shout out to everybody that's here. Dream Team for life. Dream Team is in the building. Y'all know how we do. We hold it down. One for all and all for one. Shout out to everybody that's in the land. Hold on. I got to get this straight. It's killing me. I'm sorry. I'm a perfectionist at certain things and certain things just killing me. All right. There we go. All right. So I'm going to talk about a variety of things. Shout out to everybody that's here. I'm not going to call y'all all by name. Yes, I am. Shout out to Brooke. I see Brooke back in the building. What up? What up? What up, Wafia? What up, DJ Amazing? Lee Heath, what's going on? I see Ann in the building. I see Big Willie, Big Will, Shot Town in the building. Miss Glasgow in the building. Miss Virgo Gray. Miss Mama Mary in the building. EJ in the building. Faith, how you doing? Glad to see you back. We prayed for Faith and she's back. Miss Watkins, how you doing? User, whoever the user is, what's up? Let me see who else. Anybody else that I miss, man? Cause I Miss Belinda, how you doing? Big Baby Purnell, what's up? Chris Terry in the building. Lavera, what's going on? Teresa, what's up? Tyree, what's going on? Anybody, Miss Lady T and everybody that I miss, man. Shout out to all of y'all. Judah, what's going on? Check this out. I haven't been consistent. Miss Bougie, what's going on? I haven't been consistent, but now the inconsistency stopped. I will be consistent from now on because I got so much to talk about. Lady of the Hour, what's going on? Happy Monday. That's right. I got so much to talk about and I got a little time to do it in, but I was challenged. Y'all know what happens when I get challenged, right? I was challenged over on, Facebook. That's a daggone shame. You don't know what to call a platform because they don't know what to call it itself. So I was challenged on Facebook. And for all of y'all that's over on Facebook, I told y'all I was going live today. I told y'all things was going to get bad for y'all. Because the one thing you don't want to do is challenge me on politics. Not politics, but you don't want to challenge me on politics. And again, I was called fake. I was called all this stuff over there, right? Y'all said, it was said that I ain't know what I was talking about and all this other stuff, right? Okay. So now we're going to talk about it. I'll show some videos. We really going to get into this. I think y'all bit off a little more than y'all can chew. But before I go there, I am going to say this. I am going to comment on some things that I've seen going on the YouTube streets for the last 2.5 weeks since I've been off. And, you know, it's been dry since DanaJay haven't been around. It's been awfully dry over here on this side of the land. You got people going down memory lane because they trying to get a response. And just some people don't need to get a response. But you can down memory lane all you want, because whenever people start going down memory lane, I don't want nobody getting their feelings, you know, because I'm one that can go down memory lane the hard way, because I have everybody's truth. So when memory lane start going down, I don't want nobody talking about, oh no, he shouldn't have did that, he shouldn't have said that. No. Oh no, I'm going to do that. Second thing, I'm going to talk about a digital protest. It was brought to my attention. And the reason why it was brought to my attention, because I am the originator of the protests from this side. So it was brought to my attention that a digital protest was supposed to be had. Well, in a digital protest, you do not need any money. If anybody is telling you that they need money for a digital protest, they are lying. A digital protest is nothing but a protest on the internet. It is not an upfront. It is not an upfront protest. It's a protest on the internet. It's a protest on the internet where everybody come together and they just chime in on the internet. But one person, which is always the organizer, go to the place where they said that it's going to start. So a digital protest, once again, it's a protest where the organizer goes to the place where they said it was going to start. And that person either stand or sit and show the surrounding, and then everybody chime in on the internet. No money is needed for that. I did 2 protests in Chicago, and no money was needed for that other than your travel, your hotel fare, or your whatever you want to do, your eating fare and all that. But if you wanted to buy some signs and stuff, then yeah, that costs money. Stop letting these people dupe y'all into thinking that you need money to start a protest. You don't. The only thing you need is your body, your voice, and a willing slogan, and a time frame, a startup area, and an ending area. Now, where the money come into play is if you want to get some waters, if you want to do some signs, if you want to get some food for afterwards, if you want to go somewhere afterwards or do something afterwards, that's where the money come into play. But a digital protest, ain't nobody supposed to be there. I'm going to say it again. A digital protest, ain't nobody supposed to be there except for the organizer. So the person that contacted me about it, I hope you understand what I'm saying, because I said it in layman's terms to the point where you would know on the educational college level, but also a baby and would know as well. So digital protests, no money is needed. Should nobody be collecting any goddamn thing for a digital protest? Next thing's next. The R. Kelly situation. R. Kelly. I'm going to touch on 3 things, then I'm going to go. 1, do not give nobody any money that come in your inbox saying they are Kelly. I find it funny how a certain person come home and all the scamming starts back up again. I am tired of people, mainly women, losing their money, losing their currency. And then when they come and hit my inbox, I got to be the bearer of bad news. R. Kelly do not have social media. He have not authorized nobody to run social media, and he don't have social media. That's why Ms. Bonjean came live and told y'all what it was. So for anybody that's been sending these fake pages money, go get a police report, take your IP address down there, and have the police retrace your IP address. I bet you it end up to one person. I'm gonna let you say that. DJ Amazing said there's a verified page on Facebook that's saying that it's him. Make this make sense, DJ Amazing. How can he verify anything and he's in jail? Oh, I forgot. One person said he had his portal. He had his driver's license. He had his but he had his social security card. He had his passport. Think about it. Think about it. That's all I'm saying. I don't gotta call names no more. If you've been around, you already know who I'm talking about. That's all you gotta do is look through YouTube and see who's big up in a certain person Range Rover. It's telling on you right there. I don't gotta call names no more. I've been around long enough to show y'all and to tell y'all what's going on. That's the first thing. Second thing is this right here. And I hate to rain on a parade, but I'm glad Chi-Town is in here because me and Spit and Fire haven't talked other than a couple times on YouTube in like almost 2 years. Right. But one thing Spit and Fire and Prima Donna, you used to tell me is be careful who you link with. Because if you want to do something down the line and you break off from them people are going to remember everything that you was saying and doing with that person that they don't like anymore. So I'm gonna be the bearer of bad news. Spit and Fire is doing a good thing with the signatures. Miss Lady D, she don't like me because I don't like her favorite blogger, but her favorite blogger loves me. And I keep telling y'all this. Y'all favorite bloggers love me. Now watch, I'm going to hear some of this probably within the next couple of days. But I'm going to say Spit and Fire and Lady D, I understand what y'all talking about as far as the signatures and everything. But because of the people that y'all have been aligned to before, nobody feel comfortable with signing the petitions. Because the last time people signed the petitions, they were scammed and their whole names were doxed. And it was put on the internet. Now, am I saying that Miss Lady D or Spit and Fire is doing that? No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying it at all. But what I'm saying is the people that they were aligned to at one point in time, even me, I was aligned to those folks at one point in time. So because of the alignment at one point in time, people don't feel comfortable with none of that. Wellington shouldn't be blocked at all. So it's sad. It's sad that R. Kelly gotta suffer because of other people who no longer want to talk about R. Kelly because the well has ran dry. And I told y'all, you're going to see who's in it for the money and who's not. Because when the money dry up, they going to disappear. It just so happened that even though I cover other things, even though I cover other things, I still come back to home bases. So what I will say is, and I'm giving y'all, with your Spit and Fire in them, I'm giving y'all a nugget. Create something that haven't been done that can support Robert. And maybe people would jump on with that because it'll be fresh, it'll be new, and it's coming from y'all. But anything that remotely looks like the scamming stuff that them people have done, ain't nobody gonna touch it. And it's sad. But I understand it. People's family has been doxxed. People has been talked about on the internet for no reason. It is what it is. So one thing I do is I'm not going to come out and discourage nothing, but I will encourage things. So I'm encouraging Spit and Fire and Lady D and Lolo and Chi-Town, all of them, come up with something different for R. Kelly and then pitch it. I will definitely support it. But because of the alignment, that's why I haven't came out with no signatures and nothing, no petitions. No, you ain't gonna see that out of me because it's been done, and it was done for the negative light and for the come up off of R. Kelly name, and you will never see me attached with nothing like that. Third thing, if you go into Minnesota, please act like you have court etiquette. If you don't have court etiquette, just act like you know. Fake it till you make it. Just act like you know how to act in court. Because in Minnesota, they already don't want us up there. And they will do anything they can do to keep you in jail in Minnesota. All right? So cool. Now, we got that out the way. Let me see what else. Am I missing anything? I'm trying to see if I'm missing anything.
They already don't want us.
Hold on.
And they will do anything they can.
Hold on. Okay, am I missing anything? Let's see. Am I missing anything? Let's see. Hit that like button, y'all. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that like button. So now we're going to dive into some things and the people over on Facebook. Let's see. For the people on Facebook, I heard y'all talking. I heard the stuff that y'all was saying. But now nobody want to come out. So I made a post about Kamala Harris that said I'm not with her. And people was like, oh, you must be with Chump and this and this and this and this. I'm going to ask you a question. Then I've heard some biblical leaders. Hold on. I've heard some. Hold on. I've heard some biblical leaders sit back and say, I've heard some biblical leaders sit back and say, well, Dana, I don't know this and 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 this. So let's not base what I'm about to show y'all today on white versus black. Let's not base it on left versus right. Let's base this on good versus evil. Let's base this on good versus evil. And I know some people going to drop out because they not understanding. Juicy Love said, and you have doxed people too. Yes, I have. But Juicy Love, I only dox people back because they dox me. One thing about it, you've been around long enough to know how I roll. Don't flip the script. Understand the manuscript. I will let you do whatever you do to me first, and then I'll come back and destroy you. You was one of the ones that tried it. Don't forget, my name is DanaJay, and I approve this message. So we're not going to base this on Republican or Democrat. Let's throw the Republican away. Let's throw the Democrat away. Let's talk about who's best for you. And if y'all on Instagram, tag the House Coons, DL Hughley, Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley. Tag the House Coons in what I'm saying. Because what people got to realize is when you're blogging, these low-level bloggers who don't know nothing, who want to keep stuff going, they just dumb. But I'm talking about these House Coons. Tag Plies too. Thank you, Willie. My thing is this. If you paying me $10,000 and my radio show ain't about shit. Oh yeah, I'm going there today. And my radio show ain't about shit. And my TV shows ain't adding up to nothing. And I can't even bring out a whole tape, so I got to bring out a mixtape, and you only got one hot song when you put out 24 songs. Come on, man. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And the thing about it is people don't want to hear the real. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off first with the church. Uh-oh. Pause for a second. Let me deal with this real quick. Juicy Love said, you remember it all. You did it first. I never doxed nobody, not a blogger. Was not in the crowd, just a supporter of Robert. Juicy Love, I'm going to be on here and I'm going to be the first to say you're a liar. Because you was with the in crowd that doxed me first. That doxed my son first. That's why I went after you. And you ain't like it. So please, if you ain't going to be real, you can miss me with the fake shit. I'm not beefing with you. What happened, happened. But if you're going to come on here and fake like you're a victim, we ain't doing that. Now, if you here to clear the water and say, look, Dana, you doxed me, I doxed you, we was beefing, it is what it is. You got caught up because you followed the wrong group of people and you ended up on the wrong side of history. As I said, people died off, disappeared because DanaJay killed their whole career. DanaJay didn't give them no energy. They didn't have nothing else to talk about. And you was one of the ones that followed those people. Do I have any beef with you, Juicy Love? No. But one thing about it, you ain't going to play with me in my face and think I'm going to just be googly ha ha ha. No, I'm going to show you exactly who I am. So I'll say this, and I'll be man enough to say this. If what I did back to you hurt you, even though what y'all did really hurt me, I'll be man enough to say, my bad. The only thing I can say is don't let it happen again, and then it won't happen again. Plain and simple. And because I give people the same energy and I meet them right where they are. So I don't have no beef with you, but I ain't going to take no shit off you. So I'm going to start with the church first. First things first. Our Papa. Like I said, I'm going to start with the church first. And I'm going to ask this question. What have Kamala, because y'all get offended, and when people talk about y'all hope Kamala, but y'all try to destroy Donald Trump. And I'm just throwing it out there. But what I'm about to do, what up, Prima? What I'm about to do, shameless plug. Prima Donna baked me a cake for my birthday, right? It's called the Cookie Monster. Nobody else ordered. Prima, don't sell that cake to nobody else from the Dream Team. That's an exclusive for me. And I'm going to say this, baby, that Cookie Monster is everything. Go order from Prima Donna Pastries. You will not be shocked. Leave Little Debbie alone and go to Prima Donna Pastries. I'm telling you, she's better than Little Debbie. So back to what I was saying. Me starting with the church first. I have a question for the church people. What policy have Donald Trump passed that went against the principles of the Bible? And then I'm going to turn around and ask you, what policy have Kamala and the whole DNC pass that goes against the principles of the Bible? Let's go there. Let's keep it real. What did Kamala and them just support? The Olympics, where they made fun of the Last Supper. They made fun of Jesus. They made fun of Jesus. Preachers, prophets, prophetess, deacons, the same ones that y'all go to church for every Sunday, they made fun of. So now I got a problem. Y'all can sit back and talk about Trump 24/7, but y'all don't call out the same witch that said she's going to make that okay in the United States. Don't forget the Olympics here in 2028. It's not mistaken that the Olympics that's held here in 2028 is in California. The grassroots of what? So when people get y'all and try to turn y'all around, no. Let's talk truth and facts. I don't give a hell about a RNC or a DNC. Now, y'all ask me, now I'm about to give y'all the business. First things first, church. How can y'all support a woman that supports pedophilia? She said out of her own mouth that she will sign the order to make pedophilia a mental disability instead of a crime. I want to know how many people is okay with that. I want to know how many people is okay with that. And especially if you had a loved one that was raped by a pedo. See, these are the things that y'all don't want to talk about. And when I'm checking all of my chat boxes, because I want to see responses, I want to go at y'all. I gave y'all 4 days to go at me over on Facebook, and y'all couldn't accomplish nothing. Now I'm about to destroy y'all. I'm about to make y'all go into y'all secret prayer closet and cry. Now, let's ask this question. That laugh, is that a laugh or is that a witch's cackle? Let's go deep now. And I ain't no pastor. And this is what I say. All you pastors that support her need to close your damn church down. Because all of y'all a bunch of fucking hypocrites. That's where we going at. That's where we going at. And I ain't just talking. I got paperwork to back up everything I'm saying. Paperwork. Oh, this about to get deep in here. If you think I'm lying, let's start at Exhibit 1. Exhibit 1 is going to go like this.
Kamala is the name of a Hindu goddess from Mesopotamia. Kamala is one of the female offsprings of this devil right here, and he is one of the 3 primary forms of Devi. Kamala of Devi, the laughing goddess. And that's next on the trumpet. She was born in 1964, and this is what year it is now, the year of the dragon. The harlot of Babylon is here, the laughing goddess. Revelation chapter 17. The woman was dressed in purple and scarlet and was glittered with gold, precious stones and pearls. She held a golden cup in her hand, filled with abominable things and the filth of her adulteries. So this has been in the works for quite some time. Purple, gold, pearls, 6 buttons on each sleeve, laughing with a golden cup in her hand, the word of God. That one. You can read all about the beast that put her into power after he served for exactly 42 months. And that matches the book of Revelation perfectly. Daniel chapter 12. The man clothed in linen, who was above the waters of the river, lifted his right hand and his left hand towards heaven. And I heard him swear by him who lives forever, saying, I will be for a time, times, and half a time, when the power of the holy people has been finally broken. All these things will be completed. And that fancy talk for times and half a time, that means 42 months, right here. This is what time I woke up this morning, and I go by Ezekiel 33:3. And that scripture says that when I see the sword fall upon the land, I'll blow the trumpet and warn the people. So like and follow the trumpet for more. And in Jesus' name, have a blessed day.
So with that being said, right? With that being said, I just want to know, how can y'all support the mainstream demon? But y'all say, oh, I'm for God. I'm for God. Hold on. It's a rapper that has something to say about that, and this is how I follow. Check it out. I told you, we going in today. Let's rock.
Some say he's racist and tweets like a kid while overlooking all the good that he did. I ain't ashamed of my president a little bit. I'd rather have an alpha male than a little.
This gets better every time.
Some say he's racist and tweets like a kid while overlooking all the good that he did. I ain't ashamed of my president a little bit. I'd rather have an alpha male than a little.
So with that being said, all the stuff that y'all hearing and seeing out there is bullcrap. People ain't with Kamala the way y'all thinks they are. The only people that's trying to get people to sway people are the people that's being paid. D.L. Hughley, Plies, Ricky Smiley. And I'm going to stay on D.L. Hughley, ugly ass neck. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Juicy Love said, so I have a family member that was killed by a dope dealer. Am you supposed to be mad at Kamala for locking of black men that are doing? Hold on. Let me see what to say. Hold on. Jesus Christ. I ain't want to do all that. Men that are dope dealers and dope fiends. I'm going to get to that. And I'm glad you said that, Juicy Love. But I'm going to get to that. I'm going to definitely get to that. Because that's coming up. That's coming up because I don't want to jump. But you stay right there because I'm going to get to that. So what Kamala does is she cackles. And check this out.
She pays people to endorse her, and she pays some of the larger voices in the black community to do this. We know this. This is a matter of fact. And people who are the target market, black men, not having it.
You all are embarrassing us. How dare you all? You are not entitled to belittle, punish, and make fun of black men and think the complete opposite. We are not voting for no Kamala. Leave us alone. Just because y'all got paid to advertise good talk from that goddamn administration don't mean all of us have to sell our souls. What we take your word for anything. Real quick, Roland, how much gum is under the table? Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Looper? We definitely ain't taking your ass serious. The country is in turmoil as we speak. The last 4 years is sitting to try to convince us that we need to stick with the candidate that's in office now that's creating the turmoil. Are you all like y'all rabbit ass Looney Tune ass mom?
So I have a question. And I'm definitely going to answer Juicy Love question later on. So I have a question for you. And Kamala Harris said, that when she win the presidency, she's going to change what's going on at the border. Hold on. She said when she win the presidency, she's going to change what's going on at the border. Then she said when she win the presidency, she's going to make the gas prices go down. Then she said when she win the presidency, she's going to make it so people can live great again. I got a question. You're the vice president now. You still have 87 days. What's going to change if you get 4 more years? Now, I done told everybody Joe Biden's stolen presidency was a combination of 3 people. Big Mike, which is Michelle Obama. Barry Soreto, which is Barack Obama. And Kamala Harris. That's why you didn't see her as much during the presidency run. Because she was operating in the background. Now, if y'all can remember when Joe Biden had that State of Union address, go and look at Kamala Harris' eyes on that State of the Union address and then look at her eyes now. It's 2 different people. Or should I say, one is a reptilian, and I don't want to scare nobody, but one is a reptilian and one is the same person. In order to understand what you're looking at, you got to understand what you're dealing with. And when you have idiots try to jump in the chat talking about, oh no, he don't know politics. Nigga, I know politics better than you put your drawers on. I just don't talk about it as much because people scared of it. People scared of the truth. Well, I got another slide to show. Check this out.
She's 1000% correct here. Check it out.
So I just want to make sure I got this right. So we're mad with Trump for saying black jobs, but not Biden for saying a black woman is who stocked the shelves at grocery stores?
She's 1000% correct here. Check it out.
So I just want to make sure I got this right. So we're mad with Trump for saying black jobs, but not Biden for saying a black woman is who stocked the shelves at grocery stores?
You know what? I forgot about that. So here's my question. Why nobody talked about that? This is what I mean when I say selective capping and selective amnesia. Y'all talk about Trump saying something about black jobs. Oh, they coming to take the black jobs. Y'all went to ham off. What do you mean you're taking the black jobs? What is a black job? What is a black job? A black job is any job that a person of color can do. But why y'all ain't say nothing about Biden? And when he said the only thing black women are good for is stacking the shelves. That went silent, didn't it? Was it because y'all was scared that the platforms will say this is misinformation? I'm just trying to figure out what part of the spectrum are you going to learn that just because we skin folk don't make us kinfolk? Then I'm going to ask you this question. Who do they always use to take down our own? Us, right? So if they use us to take down our own, why are we following the devil off the cliff to take down our own? If the United States of America is a corporation in which I showed y'all, that means this is our goddamn establishment. And what do you do when somebody come and try to take over your establishment? You stand up for it if you love it, right? Okay, let me break it down a little simpler for you. If you just bought a house and some migrants came in your house and told you, you got to leave your house because we coming and taking over and living rent free, what are you going to do? Are you going to run from what you paid for, or are you going to stand up for what's yours? This election is no longer about Democrat or Republican. They want you to believe that. This is about good versus evil, and then they trying to plan a race war. They want the colored folks, the indigenous folks, to be mad at the white folks. But what happens, and I'm sorry, at the Caucasian folks. But what happens when Caucasian folks and colored folks link up and say, nah, we ain't doing this. This tyrannical government got to go. What happens then? So I keep telling y'all, don't feed into the propaganda. You're looking at a walking movie. This is a movie produced by BlackRock. Oh, where have y'all heard that before? The same people that run the elections. That's why people are going to jail for telling the truth about 2020 election. That's why they want Trump silenced about 2020 election. Because everybody that know math, if you can add 1 + 1, you know that election didn't make sense. And today, Georgia just admitted 37 million Trump ballots have disappeared. No trace. It just vanished. Well, I'll be damned. If we can just make stuff vanish like that, I need $100 billion. It ain't happen. So if I can't and get what I want, how can a government and get what they want? Let's make this make sense. They are in power because of us. But they enslave us mentally and physically, emotionally, financially, because we don't know the tricks that was left for us. Now make that make sense. They stolen the tricks that was left for us. They won't give it to us. And when we use our tricks after we discover the tricks that's given to us for us to live on this land, guess what? Oh, here conspiracy theories. Oh, he's trying to overthrow the government. And then there'd be the same folks that turn around and say, we got to do what the forefathers said. But the forefathers said, when a tyrannical government do not listen to the people any longer and do things without the people approval, then we, the people, have the authority and power to overthrow the tyrannical government. Why nobody talk about that? That's in the Constitution. That's in the Constitution. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Then they turn around. Oh, I ain't coming off your neck no time soon, Facebook people. Matter of fact, I'm going to do it like this. Because y'all folks piss me off. I'm going to do it like this. No pun intended. No games, no nothing. And I said I was going to send a link, and I was going to put the link there, and nobody want to hit the link, but everybody had something to say in a live. Everybody had something to say in the live. Hold on. I'm going to do it like this. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Hold on real quick. Like I say, I run from no pressure, but I deliver it all. So, hey, Mary Dukes, how you doing? Long time no see, long time no hear. So it kills me because the first thing they say is, we got to vote for Kamala. She's the black person. Kamala's the black person. So we got to vote for the black person. She can relate. But she told you that she wasn't black. She told you exactly what she was. But hold on. Y'all forgot about Cornel West. Y'all forgot about Mr. West, who is very educated. But let's go there.
Independent candidate for president has been raising hell in Chicago this week outside the DNC. Has had some people approach him too, which we'll get to. But I want to start. To me, the biggest issue right now is what is being hidden inside the DNC. We know there was a sit-in last night by Palestinian Americans, members of the uncommitted movement, because they have basically been shut out. They are not being allowed to have a speaker on the main stage. We know that a family of an Israeli hostage spoke on stage, but that same exposure, that same opportunity to speak was not offered by the DNC or the Harris campaign to a Palestinian American, a doctor who has seen the disaster, the death in Gaza or the uncommitted movement. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar came out. Let's show that real quick. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar came out to the protesters. Congresswoman Summer Lee came out to the protesters sitting in. AOC FaceTimed.
I think it is critically important for us to send this message of shared humanity, and that the request isn't that large. It's not. It's important to emphasize that this is not even in any way an irrational thing to ask for. It's a basic thing to ask for.
I don't know why she FaceTimed rather than be there, but that's a different story. But could you talk about, for a party talking about freedom, that's a big theme. They don't seem to want to give Palestinian voices any freedom to just share stories and make a case for an immediate ceasefire.
Well, brother, I tell you, though, I salute you, brother, and I want to push your text, that magnificent work on Flint. There's a direct connection between what you're writing about in Flint and trying to cover up the suffering here in the United States. They won't say a word about Cop City. They won't say a word about mass incarceration. They won't say a word about poverty. 40% of Black and brown children living in poverty, the richest nation in the history of the world. The Democratic Party is revealing itself, even in this moment of frenzy, that's just so hypocritical, shot through with so much mendacity that's hiding criminality. And the very fact that you got a genocide going on. You got over 14,000 Palestinian children, let alone innocent men and women, who have been murdered. And they act as if that's normal and natural. They act as if it's business as usual. That is morally bankrupt, my brother. It really is. And we have to call it for what it is. And
I don't know if you saw, but some of the delegates, some of the big party people, as they were walking out of the convention, they walked past the protesters doing the sit-in, and they literally closed their ears and expressed kind of disgust, and just walked right past them.
Say it again. Say it again. Mock them again. Mock the children again. Do it again. Do it again.
18 years old. 18 years old. Yusuf Hassan. 8 years old. Turn around and join the uncommitted delegates in the protest.
Did you know Disneyland wouldn't exist without this strange century-old financial strategy that allowed...
It reminds me in some ways of the Democratic Party in the 1930s and 40s. You had these great gatherings, wouldn't say a word about Jim Crow, wouldn't say a word about lynching. The very suffering that was taking place was the very thing that they were holding at arm's length and proceeding as if they were on the road to freedom and liberty and democracy, so that it just more and more rips the veil off of what is operating in the Democratic Party, which is this organized greed and this thoroughgoing indifference, be they brothers and sisters in Flint, be they on the south side of Chicago who are poor, be they precious Palestinians undergoing genocide. We haven't even got to Haiti and Sudan and Congo yet. We don't have time for a global analysis here. But it's just sad to see both human beings as well as an imperial empire undergoing such corrosion and corruption. You can see a rot at the very center of it. It's the thing that Martin King talked about when he said he was living in such a sick society that talked about how wonderful it's freedom for them dropping bombs on Vietnamese babies, though, brother.
Mm. And tell us about this week, because I reported yesterday that there was some, let's say, higher up folks in the Democratic Party that wanted to have some conversations with you, specifically about getting you to drop out. We know by all reports, RFK Jr. Is about to drop out, possibly endorse Donald Trump. And there were people that approached you asking you to drop out. What were, the offers that they made and your response?
Well, I mean, a number of them reached out and just saying, I need to get on the bandwagon. This is a historic moment, especially a Black moment. Have a Black sister, Asian sister move to the head of an empire undergoing deep spiritual decay and moral decadence and deterioration. And then with some religious leaders have reached out saying, are you sure that you're building on the legacy of Martin King and the great Rabbi Heschel and Edward Said and others? And I told them, I said, you all just talking to the wrong brother. You can offer resources, a position, or what have you. That's not what I'm all about. That's not the game I play. That's not my conception of what I'm here for, to bear witness and be a witness and try to hold on to some integrity and honesty. Because what has happened, brother, I mean, the toxicity in the party is so pervasive that we see the superficial glitz and the blitz, but at the center of it is just money, 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 status, and 62% of fellow citizens living paycheck to paycheck. Hardly any acknowledgement of it. Wealth inequality, hardly any acknowledgement of it. Police still brutalizing and murdering, mass incarceration, the largest prison system in the history of the modern world. Can't say a word about it. Homelessness, especially for Black folk, we 12%. The population got 45% of the homeless. LA is even worse. LA is even worse. So that level of social misery and suffering is hidden and concealed in the same way. Again, I keep coming back to Flint, because Flint in so many ways is a microcosm of it. And people say, well, Brother West, you're helping fascism. Brother West, you're supporting Trump. Please, you don't fight fascism, all of its lies and crimes, with more lies and crimes, and say, I'm the better option. Because sooner or later, the fascism will take over. If you don't get at the roots of it, in Democratic Party policies, we know with this neoliberal class wars against poor and working people, push people in situations where they're more right to follow gangster fascists like Trump. And if you don't get at their situation, their plight, their predicament, and there's no alternative to a rotting Democratic Party, then fascism, yes, fascism will triumph in the end. And I mean, I don't know what Brother RFK Jr. is doing. I mean, good God Almighty, he's bouncing back and forth, making deals. I guess for him, it's all about making deals rather than bearing witness.
And can you specify, if you can, you mentioned offering positions, resources. Were you offered a position in the Harris administration? Any financial incentives to drop out?
Oh, I mean, there was definitely various kind of offers. I won't go into the concrete details of it. I really won't, because I don't even want to make that the focus.
Well, let's just say they did not offer you the janitor's position. They offered you something relatively high up.
Well, I don't think it was that high up, because believe me, brother, the highest position in the empire, they can't say a word about genocide. For me, it's just a place in Dante's Inferno, man. And that's the lowest litmus test of morality.
Wow.
To oppose genocide. And when you deny genocide, when you actually enable genocide, that cannot be the only option to fascism.
Right. Did they just one more on this? Did they offer you? Did they offer you a cabinet position, a lower position, and offer to pay off any of your campaign debt?
Well, they offered serious substantive conversation about all of those that could lead toward some real possible. You know what I mean?
And it's also interesting because you mentioned those religious leaders invoking Martin Luther King, but maybe they should look up Martin Luther King, because he would have been outside with those protesters, ceasefire protesters, sitting in. He was ardently against Vietnam.
Well, you think that, I mean, LBJ actually responded to the Black freedom movement with civil rights acts and voting rights acts and open housing acts with anti-poverty programs, and areas responded to both trade union movement as well as just left movements as a whole. So those were very significant. So for Martin to break from that particular president, see, that's qualitatively different than breaking from Biden or Harris. I mean, good God Almighty. And you see all the lies that they're telling about Biden. Like he was the greatest president, the most pro-working class president with our excellent economy. And you say, my God, how can anybody credibly make that kind of statement? There was some significant legislation he was able to push through and bipartisan. But in terms of pushing for World War III, in terms of enabling genocide, the architect of a crime against humanity called mass incarceration, Glass-Steagall. We can go on and on and on with Biden, and now people want to put him on Mount Rushmore. You can see the level of lies that the Democratic Party is willing to tell in order to make their grab for power. And if that's all we have, we're in deep trouble, man.
And could you talk about, because obviously you are getting the heat, not just from, establishment Democrats, but even some progressives who are trying to push you, they love you, but they feel you're going to enable Trump. And to them, stopping Trump is more important than ending this neoliberalism. What's the difference for you? Because in 2020, you decided, I'm going to hold my nose, vote for Biden, and encouraged others. But then 4 years later, it's obviously you've made a different calculation. Why now do you feel like Trump is less of a threat? And how do you answer people who challenge you that this is the man talking about, joking about being a dictator, weaponizing the Department of Justice, mass deportations, and you could potentially enable that if a couple thousand votes go to you in Michigan and elsewhere?
Well, one, whatever votes go to me were not necessarily votes that would go to Harris. I mean, that we got to just keep that very, very clear. Most of the people who vote for me would never have anything to do with Harris anymore, anything to do with the Democratic Party anymore. What the Democratic Party needs to do is have a Socratic moment, examine itself, and try to shift policies in such a way that they speak to some of the issues that we're talking about. It seems to be structurally unable to do that, given the role of big money and big military, and given the kind of illusions that it lives in. But what I would say is that each and every citizen needs to critically reflect and make their choice and vote. And I make my case. Harris makes a case. Trump makes a case. Stein makes a case. Claudia de la Cruz makes a case. Other socialist parties and libertarian parties make a case, and the citizens vote.
Right.
Making sure they have choices available. That's bottom line.
And, I'm curious what you think, because the Democratic Party, they are, and their media accomplices, in my view, are frantically calling you, Jill Stein, RFK spoilers, pushing you to get out. But it seems to me they're causing this because they won't allow a fair primary. I mean, I assume you might have considered running in the Democratic primary if they didn't do what they did to Bernie 2 times. You saw it up close. But as I tell people, don't think just running third party is any less rigged. I mean, they just challenged you in Michigan and temporarily got you off the ballot. I know you're going to court against that over, technical issues. They've been fighting you with their army of lawyers, the Democratic Party, to get you off ballots elsewhere. So their big theme is democracy. Yet you, Jill Stein, even RFK, all they are doing is trying to stop people from having more choices.
And you're absolutely right. You saw it internally in terms of no primary. Sister Mary Ann and others hardly had a chance. Then it becomes third party and the various legal teams coming at us tooth and nail. Though, brother, I mean, I'm getting all letters from lawyers, me, my wife, beloved wife, Anahita, getting all these letters coming at us. Some of it's personally targeted in terms of a lawsuit. Some of it's against the parties, our party, Justice for All. And yet we're on the move, man. We're going to be on a good 45 states with a combination of Justice for All party and these marvelous small parties You know the story, the United Citizens Party, Black Party in South Carolina, that Clyburn himself founded in '69 when he was a rebel and an insurgent. The Aurora Party in Alaska, salute them. Progressive Party in Oregon, Unity Party in Colorado, Natural Law Party that has been so open to us in Florida and Mississippi. I can go on. I don't want to name all of them, but when you add those plus our Justice for All, plus the various write-in petitions that we've been working on, that we're still going to provide a choice, provide a choice for those who believe that there ought to be some room for truth. The condition of truth is to allow suffering to speak. Some room for justice that has to do with poor and working people. But also, Brother Jordan, we're bearing witness for our brothers and sisters in the global South, because their destiny is inextricably interwoven with our destiny. That when you're looking at an empire that's like a bully in a china shop, you've got to be able to make your voice, your vision, your solidarity efforts connected to the wretched of the earth all around the world. And also to send a message to the younger generation. You all don't have to sell out. You all don't have to give up and simply accommodate yourself to the rot in the two-party system.
Absolutely. You know, I don't know if you saw, I was shocked when I saw this last night. Chris Cuomo used to be a CNN anchor, now is at News Nation. He was on the floor at the Democratic National Convention, and he said, basically said, let me pull you in on a little secret. All these good vibes and all, you know, they're talking about, the Democrats are talking, we're going to go after corporations, we're going to go after price gouging. He then told his cameraman, can you look up? All these boxes are donors up in the top of the arena. And these same Democrats and all politicians, not just Democrats, there's a conflict because those are the people funding this, and they're not going to regulate those people.
These are the men and the women that go back to their constituencies and their communities, and they fight. They take time from their jobs. They take time from their families. Republicans and Democrats alike, that's what they do. They need to charge these people up. They need to be able to get them on board. But there's another reality that is literally looking down on them. Greg, look at the ring of sweets, okay? This is not unique to Democrats. There is a game of money. When people talk about uniparty, we are strangled by the money reality in our politics. Those suites start at 500 grand. You think there's like a teacher group up in there? You think it's like the Cub Scouts of Columbia County, South Carolina, that's up in those boxes? Some of them are lobbies and good things. The media boxes, you think they're free? Why do you think I'm on the floor? News Nation is not a broke company. Nexstar is a massive organization. We are corporate media. We don't have one of those boxes because that's the game. You pay to play. Those boxes are filled with the same people that they say they're going to regulate. They are literally looking down on the faithful and being told, yeah, we're going to break down on them. We're going to make them pay their share. They paid $500, $700, $1 million, $1.5 million to have those seats. They get hotel suites that are probably gifted to the party. And the same thing is true with the Republican side. And they're going to take them down. They're going to change how it is. They are looking down from on high at the people who make the difference in their communities. And that is the reality of politics.
I had never seen that on corporate media. I don't think he would have been allowed to say that on CNN. But credit to him, it was truth. But I look at these conventions. I covered the RNC in person, the DNC in person, most of these political campaigns. It just seems to be a lot of, hundreds of millions of dollars in political branding and theater. But at the end of the day, as he pointed, those donors are paying $500,000 per box. And I don't think they're paying unless they're getting something in return. And you don't hear that in the coverage on CNN, MSNBC. Do you think that whether it's the DNC, RNC, political elections, campaigning, the system in general, most people don't know that?
That's true. You know, my dear brother, the great Glenn Ford, Glenn used to say that it's professional wrestling at a low-grade level where the decisions have already been made. The big money people are invisible, behind the scenes, but having tremendous impact. And that's why I salute yourself, brother Tim Black, Sister Sabby, Amy. I'm talking about those few truth tellers in a corrupt media system trying to tell the truth against the grain, very limited resources, just like our campaign, broke as the 10 Commandments, financially, right? But still moving on step by step by step. Brother Tavis Smiley and the others who are trying to hold on to some legacy of the journalists who told the truth, from T. Thomas Fortune and Ida B. Wells Barnett to my old brother I.F. Stone, who I used to break bread with many years, show you how old I am. But he was a truth teller in the context of journalism. But this is what happens in an empire. Every site and every sphere is saturated with money. It's saturated with manipulation and transaction, as my brother Clifton West would say. And when you have wholesale transactions, everybody's for sale, everything is for sale. How does truth and justice and love ever gain traction? And that's been the question of my campaign, and that's precisely why I'm running. Some people are talking about, why is West still running? I've said why I'm running. We're trying to.
So with that being said, Cornel West is running. Why nobody's talking about Cornel West? At this moment, I never said Trump was an angel. Everybody know how I feel. Everybody know what Trump is. But if we talking about black people, as they say, why you only want to focus on Kamala? Why didn't they push Cornel West? Make this make sense. You push somebody that's already the vice president, who did nothing for 3 years except for cackle. Excuse me. So now you want people to get behind her another 4 years? Hold on. Let me help some people out. Everybody that voted for Kamala Harris in 2020, right? Which was hardly nobody, because her presidential run, and she didn't even make it to the Iowa caucus. To be exact, she had 23 people vote for her. 23. Joe Biden was pushed, or should I say the dummy of Joe Biden was pushed to go get Kamala Harris as a running mate. 2 idiots. Right? And I know people gonna say, how she an idiot and she was a prosecutor? Well, let me ask this question. How are you a prosecutor and you never took the bar exam? Make it make sense. She never took the bar exam. So when people say she slept her way to the top, that's what they talking about. But like I say, what happened to Chucks and Pearls? When she said, when I get in office, I will help do everything. I will help do everything. And she disappeared on y'all. And then when Joe Biden gave his speech to the world, her purples disappeared. Her eyes were jet black. So where's that Kamala Harris at? Why do this Kamala Harris have grayish, brownish eyes? If you think I'm lying, go do your research. So when Chucks and Pearls was going on, all the women was, oh yeah, we got a woman. Oh yeah, we got a woman. Oh yeah, we got a woman. Let me break something down. And I'm not saying this because of what happened to me, but I'm going to say this. You cannot believe in God and be part of a sorority or fraternity. Because first of all, God said that he a jealous God, right? But when you part of a sorority or fraternity, you believe in the morals and the oath of that fraternity or sorority, right? Which is normally attached to a God. So if God says, don't have no other gods before me, how are you going to be a part of a sorority or fraternity, which is attached to a God somewhere, when God said, only come to me? So when I got angry about me and Omega Psi Phi, I felt like I was done wrong because folks ain't know what was going on. So now I'm going to get deep into it. Omega Psi Phi is quick. It's quick to run to the internet and say somebody's perping. Oh yeah, I'm going there today. Omega Psi Phi is quick to run and say somebody's perping. But when their people are wrong that's bringing in money to their organization, they are slow to say anything. Ricky Smiley, why none of the Omega brothers said anything to Ricky Smiley? Oh, I'm going to go deeper. Let's go down to Tennessee. Or should I say Tennessee? Let's go down to Memphis. When them Omega Psi Phi brothers killed that brother down there. Y'all know which one I'm talking about. They should have been the first ones to jump out there and give a statement, but they waited until the heat got on them for them to release a minute statement. Time out for the lukewarm bullshit. Either you gonna rock for truth or you just gonna rock for you. And the problem is, and I know I done made some AKAs upset, I done made some Omegas upset, but I'm gonna say this. Before I was to put them letters on me, I was somebody first. And before I could put them letters on with a 2.5 GPA, Jesus was real in my goddamn life. So who you think I'm going to follow? I'm in the ultimate fraternity. I don't need nothing man-made and to make me feel like I'm secure. So when I didn't make it, I mean, it was cool. It wasn't because of my physical prowess I didn't make it. It was because of what I stood for and my principles. And you ain't going to play with me as a man and think I'm not going to deal with you. So I got caught up. I had to give an apology. I gave that. But then for 5 years, I was like, oh man, I was angry. But then God was like, what are you angry for? Everything they do, you already do. So why go out and be angry because you don't fit into the hopping and the hoof throwing and the gold boots and the purple letters and the purple jacket? Listen, you already part of royalty. So why do you need those colors to say that that's royalty? Because truth to be told, they are LSU colors. So when people say, oh, you can't wear them colors, why? Because believe it or not, somebody got that from somebody else. History is bound to do what? Repeat itself. So with that being said, I got another homeboy that I want y'all to listen to, which is none other than Rizla Islam. Check it out.
Yes, sir. And again, the Trump voters gonna be like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Trump is free. You are a damn idiot. Trump is for Trump first.
Yes, right.
Because he's a businessman first,
Yep.
then a president.
Yep.
That's what I like about him too.
He goes to the highest bidder.
He was like, I ain't flying on Air Force One. I got my own jet. I ain't staying in the White House. I got my own mansion. See, I like that. I like that. Shake it up. I love it.
Yeah.
But I don't trust him.
Yeah.
And I don't trust Kamala either.
Fact.
I can appreciate characteristics and not trust the whole package.
And that's what people don't understand, Reza, because then they'll try to clip that up. See, he's a Trump supporter. You see what I'm saying?
They did that when I was on No Jumper because they asked me a question. They thought I was going to go in the direction they wanted me to go in.
That's right.
I said, I like Trump. I said, I like Trump. I said, because, I said, because at times when he speaks the truth, he speaks it.
Yeah.
When he doesn't like you, he'll tell you.
Yeah.
At times.
Yeah.
But then he also lies too. See, hey, man. But they all do. That's politics. Yeah. That's you have to do. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said politic means multiple bloodsuckers.
Come on.
But politics, you must lie once you get to a certain level.
That's right.
Local politicians can't really lie that much because the evidence is obvious.
I can pull up on you too.
And I can pull up on you.
Where you live.
You're supposed to be at your weekly meeting in the chamber with city council where the people can come in and address issues. Normally it's a Wednesday, sometimes a Thursday, depending on what city you in. So a local politician, city council, school board, mayor, that you can actually get something done. Then once they start getting to state assembly person, governor and all that, the further they get away from people, the closer they get to corporations. That's how this goes. The further up they go, if we do not fund them as they go, then they say like, I'm sorry y'all, but they paying my checks. They cutting them. I'm got to do for them, but I'm going to make you think I'm doing for you. That's how it goes. It's politics. My major in college was political science.
Come on now.
And I chose not to do that once I found out what the hell it was in politics.
Sick game.
I said, oh, hell no. I'm not doing this.
Yes.
I won't be able to help my people in the way that I think by going through this system.
The great Dr. Claude Anderson, man, he talks about paranomics, right?
Yes.
Paranomics is so important about funding and things like that. Getting things mobilized. Do you think even if Black people created a super PAC and started funding these politicians, these presidents, these senators, governors, whoever, do you think that could like potentially work for us, or it's already too late for us overall? How do you feel about that?
Creating a super PAC is something that is economically intelligent, as our brother Dr. Claude Anderson outlined for years and years and years. And Minister Farrakhan has also echoed the same exact thing because of what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad taught him. So this is something that has been echoed. Brother Malcolm X talked about it. I believe Huey P. Newton talked about it. Many of our leaders, Marcus Garvey talked about it, putting the economics behind the person who we vote for. Because money does talk. And I wouldn't say it's too late. I would just say if we want to do it by going through this system, then we will face certain barriers that are put in that place. Even though we have the money. So we got the money, and we've seen this before. We would have the money and offer to buy a building.
LA, we saw that with South Central.
Come on, my brother. With LA over there, I believe it was
Gross.
Over off of Martin Luther King and Crenshaw. Known as the Black Mall. Right. Baldwin Hills Mall. Group of Black folk had the money. They didn't ask for a discount or nothing. Had the money that was put up there to buy it.
That's right.
They wouldn't let them buy it. Why would you let us buy it?
It's power.
Our money is the same as your money. They're like, no, we know what you're going to do.
That's right.
Which is free your people, provide jobs, economic influence, and build and resurrect that community. No, we can't have that. Why? Because we benefit off of you being in the enslaved position that you're in. So we can't do that. So they sold it to a Jewish community. And I found that out because one of the people were bragging to me in a meeting about it, a Jewish man. And I'm saying this specifically for those of you in that community who you know about them a part of your community, not the racist ones, because some of you are not, but you know which ones I'm talking about. Like we got some people in our community who are some a-holes. You got some too.
That's right.
And he was bragging to me. So, you know that mall off of, bro, he was recently, you know, the mall out of Crenshaw and King.
Hey, that's a rich flex, huh?
No, bro.
Yeah.
The man walked up to the table.
Wow.
And he introduced me to him. I looked at him. He looked down at me. He shook his friend's hand who I was eating this meal with. And he walked away, and I was so infuriated because I was thinking, wow, the Black Mall is not owned by Black people.
Come on now.
But we had the money to do it. We didn't beg. We didn't ask for a discount. We didn't try to, you know, get it on the low. We did it the way that you call the right way. We did it according to your rules, but we couldn't get it. So that means your system is never interested in us having it, even if we go about it the way you tell us to go about it. Just be.
And with that being said, it goes back to what I would try to tell the slow folks about the child support system. As long as that system is in place, nobody will win. What happens when the men stand up and go back home and help raise their offspring and take care of the bills and help the women with the house? Then what? Watch the government go crazy because they can no longer control you. But I got one more for the people that love Kamala Harris. I love my girl Tulsi. Now, see, Tulsi was a Democratic person until today. She came over to the Republican side, which Trump is about to destroy the Republican Party and create another party. I'm just giving y'all a heads up because there's too many of rhinos that's in a unipack. But check this out.
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting Black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris, your response.
As the elected Attorney General of California, I did the work of significantly reforming the criminal justice system of a state of 40 million people, which became a national model for the work that needs to be done. And I am proud of that work. And I am proud of making a decision to not just give fancy speeches or be in a legislative body and give speeches on the floor, but actually doing the work of being in the position to use the power that I had to reform a system that is badly in need of reform. That is why we created initiatives that were about reentering former offenders and getting them counseling.
The bottom line is, Senator Harris, when you are in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row, innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that. And the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology. Our Democratic Party, unfortunately, is not the party that is of, by, and for the people. It is a party that has been and continues to be influenced by the foreign policy establishment in Washington, represented by Hillary Clinton and others' foreign policy, by the military-industrial complex and other greedy corporate interests.
Senator Harris, any response?
Oh, sure. I think that it's unfortunate that we have someone on the stage who is attempting to be the Democratic nominee for President of the United States, who during the Obama administration spent 4 years full-time on Fox News criticizing President Obama.
That's
who
ridiculous,
has spent full-time,
That's
who has
ridiculous.
spent full-time criticizing people on this stage as affiliated with the Democratic Party. When Donald Trump was elected, not even sworn in, buddied up to Steve Bannon to get a meeting with Donald Trump in the Trump Tower, fails to call a war criminal by what he is as a war criminal, and then spends full time during the course of this campaign, again, criticizing the Democratic Party. What we need on the stage in November is someone who has the ability to win. And by that, we need someone on that stage who has the ability to go toe-to-toe with Donald Trump, and someone who has the ability to rebuild the Obama coalition and bring the party and the nation together. I believe I am that candidate.
Thank you, Senator.
Yes.
Congresswoman Gabbard, I'll give you a chance to respond.
What Senator Harris is doing is unfortunately continuing to traffic in lies and smears and innuendos because she cannot challenge the substance of the argument that I'm making, the leadership and the change that I'm seeking to bring in our foreign policy, which only makes me guess that she will, as president, continue the status quo, continue the Bush-Clinton-Trump foreign policy of regime change wars, which is
deeply destructive.
If you're seeing this video,
wow. See, that's the stuff that they don't show y'all. That's the stuff they don't show y'all. Now let's get deep into some things. Let's get into some things. Stuff that y'all don't have, or should I say, some of y'all don't have, I guess, the capability to have, right? So it says, as DA, Kamala Harris prosecuted a mentally ill woman who was shot by police. The jury didn't buy it. So it says, when San Francisco police broke down a door inside a group home for mentally disabled people in 2008 and shot a 56-year-old resident, then District Attorney Kamala Harris didn't charge the officers with a crime. Instead, she prosecuted the schizophrenic woman who was severely injured in the shooting. Harris charged Teresa Sheehan with assaulting the officers, alleging she came at them with a kitchen knife after they forced their way into her room. But the jury was not convinced. It deadlocked in favor of acquitting Sheehan on the assault charges and found her not guilty of threatening to kill a social worker who had called the police for help to get Sheehan into a psychiatric hospital. Somebody used very poor judgment in deciding to bring these charges, said Lori Levison, a criminal law professor at Loyola Law School in Los Angeles. If Harris actually looked at it and said, this is a righteous case, I want to go after a mentally ill woman who was shot, then you question that decision. If she didn't know about it, then you question her management skills. Today, Kamala Harris, California's junior U.S. Senator, is trying to win the 2020 Democratic presidential nomination by highlighting her experience as a progressive prosecutor. The Sheehan case, though, is an example of her complicated record in criminal justice. Harris did not retry the case after the jury deadlocked, and Sheehan went on to sue the police for excessive force. After a legal battle that lasted several years and including arguments before the U.S. Supreme Court, Sheehan won a $1 million settlement. Her civil suit also resulted in a landmark appellate court ruling that says police must take more care when interacting with people they know have a mental illness. Harris was not involved in the civil suit. Her campaign spokesman declined to say how involved hers was in making decisions about the criminal case, but said she appropriately did her job in charging Sheehan. It was the responsibility of the district attorney's office to pursue accountability for individuals who may have committed assault against police officers, Kate Waters wrote in an email. Over her years as a district attorney and California Attorney General, Harris developed a reputation for being cautious on criminal justice issues and took criticism from across the political spectrum. Those on the left deride her for upholding wrongful convictions and the death penalty, while law enforcement and moderate Democrats were upset that in 2004 she declined to seek the death penalty for a man who had killed a police officer. Harris recently released a plan for criminal justice reform that involves reversing some of her earlier positions. She now supports independent investigations of police shootings, though she didn't back proposals to do the same thing in California when she was Attorney General. She says she wants a tougher national legal standard allowing police to use deadly force only when necessary. Hold on. Stop for a second. Ain't this what she trying to say that Trump was wrong about? But this is what she stand for. So when folks ask me, well, Dana, why you say you don't stand for her? Why you say this? Why? That's why. Because she don't know what she don't. Let's go into it. California District Attorney says probe of Oscar Grant killing will be reopened. Watch this. A California District Attorney says her office is reopening its investigation of the shooting death of Oscar Grant. Now, I'm going to stop there for a second. Who can tell me, hey, Nay, who can tell me who Oscar Grant is? And tell me what famous movie was Oscar Grant about? That's all I want to know. Can somebody tell me who Oscar Grant was and tell me what favorite movie was Oscar Grant about? I see one person. But that's the wrong spelling of it. Close, but no cigar. EJ. I'm just trying to figure out. Can somebody tell me who was Oscar Grant and what movie was Oscar Grant about? Now, for now, everybody Googling Oscar Grant, what movie? I know that story real well. The Oscar Grant story, definitely remember. Okay. You got it right, or you just spelled it wrong. That's all. Well, this is a story about the guy on Fruitville Station that was killed by the police. And Kamala Harris made sure the police officer got a very, 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 very light sentence. And you know what people are going to say? Well, Dana, you can't say that. You don't know if that's true or not. For the people that don't know, I have the paperwork. I have the paperwork. From beginning to the end, I have the paperwork. So you can't tell me that I don't know, because I have the paperwork. And Kamala Harris made sure that officer got a 4-year sentence, 2 years suspended. What he got? He was supposed to have 2 years behind bars, but he got 18 months in isolation. And the other months he got to come home on a home monitor. And then he turned around and did what? Sued. Because he said there wasn't enough evidence. But Kamala Harris sees safeguards in DAs prosecuting police killings. Oh. The furor over the non-indictments of white police officers for killing unarmed black men in Missouri and New York has led to widespread calls for states to take such cases away from local district attorneys who work with police every day and often depend on their support for what? Re-election. Now you see the link? The DAs rely on the police departments and the Fraternal Order of Police for them to be reelected. It says many advocacy groups and legal commentators have called for a new system of reviewing potential criminal cases against police officers. They argued that a special prosecutor, perhaps affiliated with the state attorney general's office, would be insulated enough from police and politics to weigh the issues objectively and make decisions the public would trust. California Attorney General Kamala Harris sees it differently. I don't think it would be good public policy to take the discretion from elected district attorneys Harris, formerly San Francisco district attorney, said in an interview, "I don't think there's an inherent conflict. Where there are abuses, we have designed the system to address them." Harris said, "The system has built-in safeguards locally. Elected prosecutors are accountable to their communities. And when the district attorney is not following the law or has a conflict of interest, the attorney general has the power to come in and take over the case." Hold on. If that's the case, why? Why are the DA standing down on certain cases? The debate arises from decisions by local prosecutors in both states to refer the homicides. The fatal shooting of 18-year-old Michael Brown after a confrontation with an officer in Ferguson, Missouri, and the chokehold death of 43-year-old Art Garner in Staten Island, New York, after police tried to arrest him for selling untaxed cigarettes. The grand juries, rather than filing charges themselves, contrary to standard practice, neither prosecutor asked the grand jury for an indictment, and none was issued. The U.S. Justice Department is investigating both incidents and could seek federal indictments on civil rights charges. The department is also looking into overall police practices in Ferguson and could demand court-supervised reforms, as it has done in other cities. But critics of the current procedures say they failed to hold individual officers accountable, and we all know what happened with both of them. Eric Holder made sure that none of them got prosecuted. But who was good friends with Eric Holder? None other than Kamala Harris. And this right here, Kamala Harris plays the black card. It says, "Black men killed by police." What did Kamala Harris do about it, right? So it says, Kamala Harris was distraught as she stood before an audience one morning in July 2016. In the previous 3 days, violence involving police had rattled the nation. Officers had shot and killed one black man in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and another in his car outside of Minneapolis as his horrified girlfriend and her toddler watched. At a protest against those shootings, a sniper had killed 5 Dallas police officers. "I have to tell you, my heart is breaking," Harris said at a meeting on racial bias in policing. Her voice wavered. "As a prosecutor, my heart is breaking as the top law enforcement officer in this state and as a black woman." Hold on. So now we see that she uses the black card when it's only beneficial to her and when she want to garner sympathy. We never seen Donald Trump try to play the black card. We never seen Donald Trump try to play the grand old white card. We never seen Trump do that. Trump told it like it was, said what he had to say, and got the hell on. So my question is, why do you support the harlot of Babylon? Now, let's get to the truth about something. Because people are going to say, "Oh, that's old." Well, here's something new. Reverend Wanda Johnson sits down on a folding chair in her driveway on a hot afternoon in June. There's no air conditioner inside. So she's fashioned an outside office and pulls her chair up to a small table where a computer is perched. She's getting ready to listen to excerpts of nearly 60 hours of newly released tapes, recordings of a police investigation that have been secret for over a decade. On those tapes is a story that's never been fully heard before. The story of what happened after a transit cop shot her son on a Bay Area rapid transit platform on New Year's Day 2009. One of the first police shootings to be captured on cell phone. Millions saw BART police officer Johannes Shirley fire a single fatal gunshot into Oscar Grant's back as the 22-year-old lay face down on a train station platform. The event would later be depicted in a movie called Fruitvale Station, in which Michael B. Jordan plays Grant on what would be the last day of his life. But until now, no one outside the agency has actually heard what happened after the cell phone video ended. A lawsuit filed by NPR member station KQED earlier this year forced BART to comply with California's The Right to Know Act in 2019, police transparency law, and released the never before heard tapes, the subject of a new podcast by NPR and KQED on our watch. The tapes allow listeners inside the investigation for the first time and may provide lessons for larger failings about the system that promises to hold police accountable. It has long been clear that BART made significant missteps in the investigation of Grant shooting. And in the aftermath of the incident, the police chief and 2 commanders retired. Ms. Shirley would be convicted of involuntarily manslaughter and serve 11 months. I'm sorry, he did 11 instead of 18 and serve 11 months in jail. But the long secret files focused new attention on former BART police officer Anthony Tony Perrone, who was fired for his actions on the platform, but never criminally charged. Perrone was the first officer to respond to a call about a fight on the train, crowded with people celebrating New Year's. When Perrone stopped a group of young men on the platform, Grant and his friend Michael Greer jumped back on the train. Perrone removed Greer from the train and threw him on the ground. After Grant tried to stand up to intervene, Perrone repeatedly hit Grant. The crowd began yelling at Perrone for his part and his partner, objecting to their handling of the situation. 5 more BART officers, including Johannes Shirley, responded to calls for backup. Shirley attempted to handcuff Grant as Perrone held Grant down with his knee. When he could not get Grant's hands, Shirley pulled out his gun. Within 7 minutes of Perrone arriving on the platform, Oscar Grant was fatally shot. Nothing happened to him, and that's what's so disheartening and so upsetting to me. This man started an event that spiraled out of control and caused my son to lose his life, Johnson says. As she listens to the tapes, neither Shirley nor Perrone agreed to comment for this story. Close personal relationships. The internal documents and tapes showed that BART's criminal investigators and leaders repeatedly miss opportunities to question officers, limiting the scope and potentially the outcome of both the criminal and administrative investigations. Just after the shot was fired, BART police officers put out a call for medical assistance and backup over the radio. What they didn't broadcast was that an officer was the shooter. I had to basically put 2 and 2 together and figure out it was an officer-involved shooting on my own. One Oakland police officer would later tell investigators the BART detective who responded to the initial call, Joel Enriquez, also had to wait for another officer to clarify that the incident was a police shooting. Enriquez can be heard in recordings from that night telling another officer that he wished he could review the policy manual so he could be better prepared to investigate the incident. Enriquez, who Enriquez was also close to two of the primary officers involved in the incident, Johannes Masherly and Tony Perrone. I would like to put it on record that I have a close personal and working relationship with you, Tony Enriquez, addressing Perrone, said on the January the 1st, 2009 tape, recorded less than an hour after Grant died in an Oakland hospital. And I want to make sure that you're okay with me interviewing you. Yeah, I'm fine with that. And Perrone replied. In the initial interview with Perrone, Enriquez fails to ask key questions about the officer's repeated use of force and does not challenge or ask Perrone to explain his assertion that he was himself on the verge of using deadly force and in fear of his life. Enriquez did not respond to requests for comment. Perrone's partner, Officer Marcel Demenci, told investigators that she felt the crowd on the platform was so threatening after Masherly shot Grant that she was ready to open fire herself. Key thing. She told investigators that she felt the crowd on the platform was so threatening, keyword, after Masherly shot Grant. So if Masherly would have never shot Grant, the people wouldn't have got in outrage. Then it says, that's when I knew, it's us or them, the crowd. She said during a January 7, 2009 interview, because she only had 2 taser cartridges. She said she thought she'd have to start shooting people. I started thinking, Jesus, I'm going to have to do this. The outside law firm Bart hired to take over the internal affairs inquiry later concluded that both officers exaggerated or lied about their level of fear during the incident in an attempt to justify their actions. Both were fired, though Demenci won her job back after an appeal. A strategic decision. Just a week into the shooting inquiry, BART investigators did start to raise questions about Perrone's violent behavior, police reports show. In one report, BART police commander Maria White noted that 8 days after the killing, one of the department's internal affairs investigators, Sergeant David Chabowski, alerted her to a witness video on a local TV website. Sergeant Chabowski and several unarmed BART detectives voiced concern over Perrone's actions depicted in a tape, White wrote. Listen, if you want this story, get in touch with me. I'll send it to you. But I must put this out here, and before we conclude this situation, because some things have to be said about Kamala. And I think people need to know the truth instead of listening to these actors, these paid solicitor actors that's out here doing the bidding for her. So I'm going to do this. This is what Kamala Harris really does. Kamala Harris pushes unrealized capital gains tax that could severely impact U.S. markets. Brighton says, my broadcast covers the shocking new communist proposal from Kamala Harris that will force you to pay taxes on unrealized gains on everything you own, including stocks, bonds, and real estate. In other words, if the value of your house goes up, even if you don't sell it, you will be forced to write a check to the IRS for 25% of the supposed gain, even if you have no cash to cover that gain. I'm going to say it again. In other words, if the value of your house goes up, even if you don't sell it, you will be forced to write a check to the IRS for 25% of the supposed gain, even if you have no cash to cover that gain. This communist style proposal means the government will essentially confiscate people's homes, land, and stock assets. This is a mass confiscation / theft proposal, and it will become law under who? A Kamala Harris presidency. Also today, a hard-hitting debate with Dr. Shiver about Trump and RFK Jr., plus a new sermon covering the rapture and more. If anybody know Dr. Shiver, let Dr. Shiver know I'm trying to get in touch with him. I want to get Dr. Shiver on the platform. If anybody know Dr. Shiver, let Dr. Shiver know that Dana J is trying to get him on the platform. I want to talk to Dr. Shiver. Heard a lot about him. I want to know and I want to interview Dr. Shiver. So, like I say, if y'all know who he is, let him know. Dana J trying to get in contact with him. Dana J trying to get in contact with him. That's all. Let him know that Dana J just trying to get in contact with him. You know what I'm saying? Dana J is trying to get in contact with him. So, I want y'all to see this one last time. Check out. One last time, I want y'all to see this.
Kamala is the name of a Hindu goddess from Mesopotamia. Kamala is one of the female offsprings of this devil right here, and he is one of the 3 primary forms of Devi. Kamala of Devi, the laughing goddess. And that's next on the trumpet. She was born in 1964, and this is what year it is now, the year of the dragon. The harlot of Babylon is here, the laughing goddess. Revelation chapter 17. The woman was dressed in purple and scarlet and was glittered with gold, precious stones and pearls. She held a golden cup in her hand, filled with abominable things and the filth of her adulteries. So this has been in the works for quite some time. Purple, gold, pearls, 6 buttons on each sleeve, laughing with a golden cup in her hand, the word of God. That one. You can read all about the beast that put her into power after he served for exactly 42 months. And that matches the book of Revelation perfectly. Daniel chapter 12. The man clothed in linen, who was above the waters of the river, lifted his right hand and his left hand towards heaven. And I heard him swear by him who lives forever, saying, I will be for a time, times, and half a time, when the power of the holy people has been finally broken. All these things will be completed. And that fancy talk for times and half a time, that means 42 months, right here. This is what time I woke up this morning, and I go by Ezekiel 33:3. And that scripture says that when I see the sword fall upon the land, I'll blow the trumpet and warn the people, so I can follow the trumpet for more. And in Jesus' name, have a blessed day.
So, when people talk about Kamala, that's why I say what I say. And I made a statement and I called the people idiots. Well, guess what? Yeah, I'm calling you an idiot. Because if you will follow the same woman that lied to you in 2020 and turn around and lie to you again, and y'all buying into it, y'all idiots. However, I want to change my attention to Fulton County. In Fulton County, Fani Willis have been lying to people for the longest time. So there's a candidate by the name of Courtney Kramer, who I just so happen to love dearly. I love her to death. Courtney is my dog. But the headline said, Young Thug YSL trial, Republican competitor to DA Fani Willis vows to end case if elected. In a statement, Courtney Kramer accuses Willis of prosecuting the case to bring fame to herself and says the trial is wasting taxpayer dollars. So it says Courtney Kramer, the Republican challenger to Fani Willis and the race for Fulton County District Attorney in Georgia, is vowing to end the long-running YSL RICO trial involving Young Thug if she's elected. According to a statement issued by her campaign on Friday, August the 16th. With no apparent justice in sight, I have become highly concerned and disappointed in the lack of prosecutorial oversight in this case. Kramer said in the statement, as time goes on, the public has witnessed a trial that is undoubtedly over prosecuted by attorneys who have repeatedly been admonished for lack of trial preparation, a complete and utter waste of the court's time. Kramer goes on to blast prosecutors in the case, noting that they were recently condemned by new judge Paige Reese Whitaker for not following the ethical and legal duty to disclose exculpatory evidence that could prove fruitful for the defense. One of the most basic requirements in the courtroom. She further contends that the case was brought to bring fame to Willis, not to bring justice to the community, and that it resulted in endless amounts of taxpayer dollars being spent on a prosecution that is based almost entirely on witnesses with little to no credibility. If I am elected as the next district attorney of the Fulton County, I promise to. And it says, if I am elected as the next district attorney of Fulton County, I promise to end this prosecution immediately, said Kramer. I challenge my opponent to do the same thing, the right thing, and end this prosecution and release the accused in this case who are being held without bond. Representatives for Willis and Young Thug did not immediately respond to Billboard's request for comment. The YSL case was set into motion on May 2022 when Thug, real name Jeffrey Williams, was indicted along with dozens of others over allegations that their YSL was not a record label called Young Stoner Life, but a violent Atlanta street gang called Young Slime Life. The group of defendants was charged under Georgia's Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations RICO law, with prosecutors claiming they operated a criminal enterprise that committed murders, carjackings, armed robberies, drug dealing, and other crimes over the course of a decade. Since his arrest, Thug remained in jail, despite multiple calls for his release. On August the 8th, Judge Whitaker denied requests by Thug's attorneys to declare a mistrial over the explosive revelation of a secret ex parte meeting, not one, not two, but 3 ex parte meetings between the since removed judge in this case, Earl Glanville, prosecutors, and a key witness. Prior to that, she denied their renewed motion to release Thug on bond. Notably, the trial, which began in January 2023 and resumed on Monday, August the 12th, is now the longest in Georgia state history, with dozens of witnesses still set to testify. Is estimated to run well into next year. You can read Kramer's full statement. The full statement is right here. For immediate release, contact press at CourtneyKramer.com, August 16th, 2024, official press release, Atlanta, Georgia. The following is a statement from Fulton County District Attorney Republican nominee Courtney Kramer regarding the ongoing YSL RICO trial. As the Republican nominee for Fulton County District Attorney, I have watched the ongoing trial and endless prosecution of YSL. With no apparent justice in sight, I have become highly concerned and disappointed in the lack of prosecutorial oversight in this case. As time goes on, the public has tirelessly witnessed a trial that is undoubtedly over-prosecuted by attorneys who have repeatedly been admonished for lack of trial preparation, a complete and utter waste of the court's time. Prosecutors even had one judge condemn the state for not following the ethical and legal duty to disclose exculpatory evidence that could prove fruitful for the defense, one of the most basic requirements in the courtroom. With more than 180 acts listed in the indictment, with 28 defendants, this case was brought to bring fame to current DA Fani Willis, not to bring justice to the community. I am absolutely dumbfounded as to the motives in spending endless amounts of taxpayer dollars on a prosecution that is based almost entirely on witnesses with little to no credibility. Not only have I lost any ounce of faith that justice is in fact being served and the people of Fulton County are being advocated for in an ethical and transparent manner, but this case should have ended by now. Even former DA Paul Howard declined to bring this case, and now the public can see why. If I am elected as the next district attorney of Fulton County, I promise to end this prosecution immediately. I challenge my opponent to do the same thing, the right thing, and end this prosecution and release those who are accused in this case and who are being held without bond. If elected, I intend to restore justice, transparency, and integrity to the office of the district attorney, and the dismissal of the YSL case will be my first official action toward that goal. Fulton County citizens should feel safe in their own homes, parking their cars on the street and shopping in their own communities. Victims of sex crimes should know that their elected prosecutor prioritizes spending taxpayer dollars clearing the backlog of rape kits and not prosecuting cases for media attention. This is not about right versus left. This is about right versus wrong. Above all else, this is about the future of Fulton County and holding accountable those who are elected to serve and seek actual justice from none other than who? Courtney Kramer. Listen. I want to say this. Hold on. Whoa. One of the jurors was evicted today. Evicted from where? Hold on. Evicted from where? Hold on. And my Levi voice. Hold on. One of the jurors were evicted today. You only get $26 a day. On high profile cases, you only get $50 a day. If I was that juror, I wouldn't come back. I wouldn't come back. That means she lost, but that means the only thing that's stable is her job. For regular cases, for regular cases, jurors get $25. For high profile cases, they get $50. So you get $50 a day, and whoa, Jesus Christ. If I was the juror, I wouldn't come back. This case been going on too long. Jesus Christ. I pray for that person that got evicted. Man, this is wild. But with that being said, I held y'all long enough. I'm up out of here. Y'all be blessed and understand that DanaJay is the man of the voice. I am the voice of the street. And I will be coming daily to bring the voice of the street and the voice of reason. On that note, don't forget, DanaJay Hood Seasoning is available. DanaJay Hood Season is available. I'm hearing that some of the jurors are backing out from this case. Ooh, that's going to be dangerous. Don't forget, DanaJay Hood Seasoning is available. That's all you got to do is email me. And guess what? You can't email me at bookdanaj no more for spices. You now have to email me at, let me give it to y'all. Let me give it to you. Again. You have to email me now at daintezjackson@yahoo.com. I'm gonna say it again. DanaJay Spices. That's DANAJAY Spices. SPICES. All one word at yahoo.com. Once you email me there, let me know what you want. I have 4 spices because I've combined a lot of it together. So I have tropical. I have the Woo Chow, which is hood heat, and which is hood heat pretty much. It's the mild hood heat. I have the DanaJay White Dirt, which is the white dirt and like the salad toppings and all that. So I put that on all vegetables. I have the Hood Jerk Caribbean, which y'all know what that's for. Anything meaty, oxtails, jerk chicken, jerk fish, anything you want to use that for. And then I have the DanaJay Seafood, 1 and 2 blended together. So those 5. All right. On that note, I'm up out of here. But here's an old ad that I used to run. I'm about to update this. Check it out. The spices are in. The spices are in. Oh my God. We got DanaJay Hattie Lemon Steak Spice. Oh yeah. We got the DanaJay Lafayette Low High Rise Tropical Bang. Come and get it. We got the DanaJay Lafayette White Dirt, y'all. We got the DanaJay's Jackson Family Seafood Blend number 2. Oh my God. Then we got DanaJay's Lemon Family Seafood Blend number 1. We also have the DanaJay's Lafayette Low Rise Mild Heat. If you know if you want that heat. Then we got the real heat. If you want the DanaJay Smut. That's the extreme heat that got the Joker on the side. Oh my God. Come and get it. Come and get it. The DanaJay spices are running wild. I'm telling you, come and get it. After you taste these spices, you ain't gonna want nobody else's. I holler at you later. Hit me.
I don't like to waste time on stupid conversation. There's no profit.
So I got one thing to say. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. Be someone important. Be yourself. And remember, God loves everything about you. And so do I. Until next time, we up out. Y'all be blessed. Dream team for life. Love y'all. See you tomorrow. Battle of the sexes. We're going to talk about some things, and don't be afraid to call in. All right? 1.
I don't like to waste time on stupid conversation. There's no profit in that. So if I'm around people that are always complaining with no solutions, then I'm wasting real estate in my brain for what I need to project. And what I project in my brain is what I project in my reality. So that real estate only has to be for evolution, things that are going to help me get where I got to go. You understand? Help me evolve. So if my conversation with you makes me stagnate, we don't have too much conversation either. I don't have no time for no stupid ass conversation.
Swimming in you. Hey, little mama said I wanna take her. Dipping your pool. Just go look out there. Hey, yeah, yeah. Sometimes a misty rain that gently touches my soul. Feels just like fire shut up in me. Yeah, simply lose control. Oh, rain down, follow me. Let your love just fall like raindrops, rain. Follow me. Oh, rain down, follow me. Let your love just fall like raindrops, rain.